Hello everyone, today I bring you a thriller suspense drama, Love and Death. This play is adapted from the real case of the Texas killer in the United States in the 1980s. Two couples who seem to have the perfect life, filled with unspoken frustration and unsatisfied desires, and this murderer who hacked 41 others. In the end, he escaped the punishment of the law unscathed. Start a new life. Don't talk nonsense. The feature film begins. Candy and her boyfriend Peter have an enviable life. Candy not only has a beautiful face, from the hall to the kitchen, proficient in singing and sports, she is also a role model for the female neighbors around. Peter has a job that is good enough for the family to live comfortably. They met neighbors Betty and Alan at the community church, have been good friends since then, but as described in countless stories, this middle class lives in stability and comfort at the same time. It can be said to be very boring. Candy is very dissatisfied with Peter, who sits in front of the TV all day, and Betty and Alan are going to have a baby. Every time at that time, they start working hard, but I can't get pregnant. It's useless to see a doctor. Betty keeps blaming Alan for being useless. Alan thinks Betty was under too much psychological pressure to conceive. A day at a volleyball game at the community gym, Alan accidentally hit Candy. Picked up Candy smells his body odor. I feel my heart beating. Out of breath. There's a sprout in my heart that seems to be growing, she told her girlfriend. The other party doesn't quite believe he's going after Alan, but Candy thinks he smells good. She thinks men look and smell are two completely different things, and think that the other party seems to like their own taste. Later, when the two were singing and rehearsing at the church, Candy has been watching each other quietly. At night when Alan is leaving, Candy got in his car.
Well, I've been thinking about you a lot, and it's really been bothering me, and I'm very attracted to you.
Faced with her sudden confession, Alan was at a loss. A few days later the two participated in a community volleyball game, but this time they are acting as referees. Candy called Alan into the car after the game.
Would you be interested in having an affair?
Alan thinks he can't do it. Although his girlfriend Betty had cheated before, he was hurt, so he doesn't want to do the same to Betty, and Betty recently got pregnant. Very unfair to her. Candy said she never thought about it. To ruin his relationship with Betty, just want to have a fling with Alan. Alan rejected him though, but before I left I kissed Candy. This kiss made Candy's heart flutter again. After a very uneventful life, the two finally had their first date. The place of choice is a more remote restaurant outside the city. Alan also thoughtfully sent a song, poems written by myself. After the two chatted about the church, they began to talk about the topic, cheating experience before. Alan was very worried that his girlfriend Betty found out. Candy says, they need to be very careful, can't let anyone know except the two.
God, I just want to enjoy myself without hurting myself or anyone else.
That's all. The two who want to get rid of the boring life hit it off. Usually, they still maintain their daily lives, write poems to each other. It's lunch break. They just meet up at a restaurant in the suburbs. Gradually, Candy was not satisfied with the progress of the two. She wants to have a deeper conversation with Alan. Alan also wants to develop further, but I still can't take the last step in my heart. So Candy directly invited him to a meeting at home. The two set a few rules. Must meet outside of town first. All expenses incurred by them are AA. Can only meet at noon on weekdays. Lunch and hotel rooms are also arranged in advance by Candy. This will allow them to spend more time together. And their first appointment is on December 12th. Candy looks forward to the stars and the moon. Finally the agreed day. She started dressing up early in the morning, then start preparing lunch for two. Arrive in advance at the reserved Continental Hotel outside the city. She puts on her sexy pajamas and waits for Alan to arrive. After the two finished their lunch, they went directly to the topic. In fact, they have been waiting for this moment for a long time. They finally took that step. The feeling that they have never had before makes the two excited.
That was wonderful.
Candy proposed adding another rule. Must take a shower afterwards. In this way, there will be no smell of each other. Candy takes off her pajamas. Come to the bathroom and start washing your body. The sweetness between the two just now is still in my mind. Next second, she stood in the same bathroom in horror. Wash off the blood stain on the body. Candy and Alan mistook each other for finding true love. Both sides are deeply involved. Unexpectedly, a tragedy happened. People say that something only happens twice. It is 0 times and countless times, because it's as exciting as riding a roller coaster. Candy and Alan's secret relationship rejuvenate each other's lives. This fresh and exciting feeling, it also makes the two want to stop. While at a church, Alan's girlfriend Betty just noticed an eye contact between the two. Immediately became suspicious. Betty asks what's the secret between them. The two fooled the past with the resignation of the chairman of the church. The next day, the two met at the hotel. Candy talks about his girlfriend, thinks he's been a little weird lately. Alan says Betty likes the same. The change of the church director made her very sad.
I feel like an awful person. She's pregnant with my child
And now I'm in a sleazy motel, dating a woman other than girlfriend. In the room, Candy thinks that the two are not bad people, just have to be vigilant. Never let the other half of the two parties get hurt. The private meeting between the two is still going on. One day Candy asked Alan the thing about Betty betraying him. Now the relationship between the two is getting better and better. Alan did not shy away from talking about that experience. Betty was a bit overwhelmed by the fact that he was away on business for 6 weeks. So I found a male college student and brought him home. Alan didn't notice anything when he got home, but Betty cried and voluntarily admitted her behavior. But Alan feels that on the one hand she admits it out of guilt. On the other hand, control over oneself. She doesn't want to travel by herself, so punish him in this way. But as Betty's labor period draws closer, Alan got to spend more time with each other. Candy thought about not seeing Alan for a long time. It made her feel bad. He worries he's getting too deep. It was agreed at the beginning that the two would not talk about their relationship, only pursue happiness. The relationship lasted for another 2 months, but the novelty is fading. Worried about Betty, Alan is starting to play poorly. Candy decides to put their romance on hold for now. Alan agrees. After his daughter was born, Candy and Alan are back in their secret relationship, but not for long. Betty wanted to play a game with Alan one night. Alan said he was tired. Betty cried on the spot. She is sure Alan doesn't love him anymore. The next day, Alan calls Candy.
Candy, I think we should end it. I'm hurting Betty.
Because of the day he and Candy had sex in the motel, caused his exhaustion, Alan wants to get his life back to normal. Stop running between two women. Weekend soon. Alan and Betty go to an event called a symposium. The purpose of the event is actually to teach people talk more openly about their problems and concerns. It worked for Alan and Betty. They traveled back with a new passion. That day on, Candy sees Alan next door every day, but the other party never took the initiative to contact him again. Betty quietly told Candy the secret of their relationship reconciliation. Advise him and Peter to try it too. She didn't know the reconciliation between the two completely ignited the anger in Candy's heart. To mess with a crazy Scarlet Witch, Candy finds Alan to ask about their experience of the meeting. Alan says, the main thing is to let both parties talk about their true feelings. Write down what the other person likes in a notebook. It sounds silly. They are honest with each other for the first time in years.
Exactly how unflinchingly honest could you be, Alan?
Alan admits he didn't tell Betty about their relationship, but finally open up to each other. She felt that she should devote her attention and energy to leave it to Betty and the kids. Here. Candy gets emotional. He keeps saying he's responsible for Betty's emotions. So why not take responsibility for your emotions? This made Alan confused. The first rule they agreed on earlier is, the two sides do not talk about feelings. The two broke up like this. The way back, I saw a familiar motel. Candy pressed the horn vigorously to vent her dissatisfaction. After returning home, she called her best friend to complain. Although Alan is very talented, but she doesn't have to ask for Alan. I just don't like the feeling of rejection. A few days later, Betty finds out she has a lump in her chest. So I went to the hospital for an examination. The doctor told her it was definitely benign, but she's still very worried. Go to another doctor to check. Alan thinks Betty is in a bad mood. Candy came to Betty's house after hearing it. At this time, Betty has taken the anti-anxiety medicine prescribed by the doctor. Things have improved a lot. At this time Alan came back from work. Candy just asked him, should I and Peter also go to a meeting? Alan thinks the problem between Candy and the two is more serious, but still give it a try. Betty in the room saw their chatting and laughing happily. Let her paranoid attack again. After returning home, Candy proposed to Peter to go to the meeting together, but old-fashioned Peter thinks that kind of activity is like a wicked church. Peter expressed the feelings he had buried in his heart for a long time. He feels that no matter what he has, Candy always wants more. Since she wants to go to the meeting, let's go together. But even if they come to the symposium, it is still difficult for both parties to communicate. Candy wants, he is a romantic boyfriend who can recite poems, but Peter is a skinny mathematician. His love for Candy cannot be expressed in words. However, the two confessed, completed the communication. The relationship between the two parties gradually eased. She hardly thinks about Alan anymore. A few days later, Betty learns they were also at the Ken Talks. She serves as the group leader of this area of the symposium. Warmly invite Candy and Peter to her home for dinner. The four of them chatted about the symposium. Betty suddenly said, "The key is to look at what's hidden inside of you." Embarrassing for Candy and Alan. The next day Candy and her girlfriends talked about Weird Betty, but she thinks she won't think about Alan now. Let the past go with the wind. But sometimes God likes to joke with people. That night, Peter found a love letter written by Alan in his girlfriend's bag.